So it hurts my heart when I see our friends struggling. Because I know I spent a good like 17 years doing music full time, trying to make it professional, and yet I was still working like 8 contracts outside. I mean, outside of this, I'm still working full time. So I know, friends. So I'm sending you all the love. I know life is a lot right now, but your health comes first. And our journey is... we had a couple friends. So we were sitting with Jenny yesterday, and Jenny looks at me and says, "Do you feel successful?" I was like, "No." Do you ever feel like it's like, I did it? Is that a thing that you feel? No, you don't feel that. You don't feel that. It's like, okay, what's next? I gotta keep going. I gotta keep working. It's not a point where you're just like, yes, I did it all. So, I know that that's really, really difficult with what we do as creators. And when I'm working with students too on social media management, like how easy it is to put your understanding of the thing that you made as your understanding of yourself and your identity. That's really tough. It's really tough. And so when we're talking about people using their life minutes, going around trolling people and being terrible, the impact of that, like, you don't understand the impact of that. And if that makes somebody not keep making something, who knew how many people that person could inspire if they just kept making things? If you think about what you were facing 7 years ago and the hardest part of what you dealt with 7 years ago, it's a little hazy, it's a little harder to remember. So a lot of what we're going through right now feels like it's the end of everything, and it's not. You just gotta breathe through it. You just gotta wake up day by day. I read a really great happiness tip the other day, actually, and it was leaving a note for yourself at night to wake up and read in the morning. And it could just be like a sticky tab of what you're grateful for, and maybe a tiny plan for your day. And it's just that also making yourself feel more successful. When I say, what's your good news of the day? It's not every day that it's like, everything is the best. Sometimes it's like, I had chicken nuggets and it was rad. That can be your good news. Your success for the day. I'm feeling really overwhelmed and I need a little time off and I'm really burnt out. My plan for the day is to repot a plant. And then you did it and you're like, I am amazing. Look at my success. Yeah. Good, Sai. I'm happy to hear. Yeah. We're sending you all of the love. And it's okay what you're going through. We all do. And sometimes it's a little bit more behind the scenes. It's not that thing that we post on social media, right? It wasn't like when I was hitting a wall in March and I was extremely sick and nothing was working and I was getting rejection after rejection for all of the applications that I'd sent out. I don't post about that. I didn't go to Instagram. I'm like, hello, Instagram. These are all of my rejections on this fine Tuesday. But it's the reality and it hurts and it's like a punch in the gut every single time. So just know you're never alone. Everybody who's creating things, with every single thing that you're experiencing, the good parts and the hard parts, we all are. And it's just the hard parts are a little bit harder to see. With what you said in mind, do you think we should post our hard parts more to promote universality? Why do you think we feel the need to hide the bad news? I think for me, it's because I always wanted to create a positive environment, that I wanted people to feel happy and safe. And as somebody who went through trauma counseling too, like, trigger warnings are so important. Like, having to face your trauma head on in a space that you weren't expecting to can be really hard. So sometimes I don't talk so much about the hard things, and you'll hear a lot of those themes in some of my writing because it's out of kind of respect for the people who are coming into our space for the first time. I think too, it's sometimes like with what people are going through, they deserve the space and the attention and the time that's needed to work through some of the harder things in life. But I think on social media, you don't see me share like a ton outside of music. I mean, for a long time, my social media presence was like, here's me with a guitar in a place, here's me with a guitar in another place. Because it's more for me like a marketing tool than it ever was like a place to share every single aspect of my life. I never really liked social media for that. I thought it was a great way to let people know that I was making music. And in no part of my mind did I ever think that it could be a way for me to actually afford to make music. So y'all have changed that for me dramatically. Actually being able to be a creator and have some semblance of an income and not just be hemorrhaging money every year, paying for albums and videos and session players and everything else that I was doing for so long. I would play weddings and corporate parties, and still to this day, I do tons of like background music. People don't care when you're out playing shows. So the fact that there's so many of you that care is crazy, but I would do those so that I could afford studio time. So being able to have an enormous amount of fun with all of you and still be able to afford studio time is like beyond my dream, beyond wildest expectations. So I think that if you're going through something, reach out to support lines. I mean, I have called crisis centers. I have gone through trauma counseling. And for me, I was really lucky in that there was a not-for-profit organization in town that could help me and put me into a program that I had no money and I had been homeless, and I was going through this program for free, fortunately, because of fundraising efforts. So there's still, I think it's really important when you're going through the hard stuff to reach out to a crisis line, get the resources that you can. And I don't even know, because in the sea of social media and the way algorithms work, you can post what you're going through, and if there's no response, that's so harmful, right? And it can create this illusion that no one cares, when really the algorithm didn't show anybody. Nobody even saw it to know to care, right? So I think that it's really important that you reach out to the supports that are in place to try to team you up with the resources that you need, because on social media, no one can give you the time, energy, and dedication that what you're going through deserves. Yeah. And so we've had that conversation too about our Discord, right? Sometimes people want mental health spaces, and I just, even as a teacher, like what I can do and what I'm able to do on campus is set students up with the resources, and they can have the time and the energy that is needed for what they're going through, that I'm not trained I'm so worried about doing harm. I'm so worried about doing harm. So I think it's so important to find ways to go through these in a healthy way, in an environment that can support you properly the way that you absolutely deserve. Yeah, there's so much you can see the downsides of social media in so many aspects of our lives. Pretty much my entire Instagram class with my students is just talking about how Instagram has made them feel going through. I can't imagine having gone through elementary school and middle school were already hard enough without cell phones, and now you add Instagram onto it. Like, no, thank you. No, absolutely not. So all my students now graduating into college programs, they had to deal with all of that the whole time. So real conversations about the impact of these visuals on your self-esteem, on your understanding of your worth, and the fact that we wrap so much into what we look like. I think what you do and who you are is the most important thing. The rest of this is gonna be shocking in a couple of decades, you know? And I am fine with that. I should probably do some yoga, but for now, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Y'all are lovely. Yeah. Love who you are. Love what you do. Wake up in the morning and think, how can I make the world just a little bit better today? And if all you did was spend your minutes doing something that brought you joy, you are making the world a better place. You're sending out good energy. You're spending your time making yourself happy, which will have ripple effects for the people in your life. It's all good. It's all gonna be good and fine and nice and normal. And it might involve some screaming in a pterodactyl suit. You never know what's around the corner.